Hello everyone, Kim Leskovic here from facebook.com/Kim Leskovic Wellness. That is where you can find my wellness page full of other live videos and trainings and inspiration and upcoming programs and courses that I'm going to be creating in the future. So tonight's topic, for those of you that don't know me, I'm an essential oil educator, empowerer, and I love helping people find their happiest, highest versions of themselves through the tools of essential oils and guiding them on what that looks like in their lifestyle and how they can find easy ways to incorporate those into their day and have them just living with more enthusiasm, more excitement, more energy, and just has them feeling really, really good. So that's a little bit about me. Tonight I'm going to be talking specifically on the topic of perfectionism and titles and letting go, especially as a leader and as an entrepreneur and just a person in general, as a human being. I think a lot of us can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to show up how we think others think we should be, how we think our work should be, and that all stems from judging other people and comparing ourselves to other people. And so I hope this sheds a little bit of insight on how I kind of have struggled, but also how I work through my perfectionism and how I stand in my truth and let go of what no longer serves me. So if you're jumping on this live video, I'd love for you to say hi in the comments. I'll give you a little shout out, but I love knowing who's watching with me live, and I like to make this interactive, and that's why I kind of chose to do the live cast versus a podcast, because I like that two-way communication and also having it be more of a community feel. So those are a couple things I'm passionate about. And then, so I'll just kind of start with past examples of when I really let perfectionism kind of allow me to be stuck for a little bit and longer than I would have liked, but also how I've gotten to the point where I'm able to shift that stuck feeling more quickly and overcome that perfectionism a little bit faster. So a couple past examples. As you guys know, I'm an essential oil educator. I have a wellness page. So one of the things that held me back for a really long time was, to be this leader, to be this teacher on essential oils, I need a website, I need a course to promote, I need a group name, like for my community, I need like a brand, like name. And so all these things really held me back from taking action and just teaching what I was passionate about, showing up and just allowing people to smell essential oils, allowing people to be coached and mentored by me, which is getting down to the real core reason of my work. And so I let these little things, such as like having a website, I let that kind of show my worthiness of being a leader by having that limiting belief that I needed that to be a leader. And so I eventually, something hit me one day where I was just like, why am I not starting a Facebook page? That's so easy. I don't need a name. Like, my name is my brand. And I mean, I learned that from a lot of my mentors, that I am my own brand. We're all our own brands. We're walking, talking, breathing brands. And so it's really cool that we get that power, we get that authenticity to be unique and be ourselves and lead by example in our lives, not only in our work, but also just our daily lives of being a good person and showing our skills, sharing our knowledge, and loving all of the people around us. And so there was this day where I was just like, why am I not creating, I don't need a website yet, that can kind of just be pushed off for now. And I'm just going to do this wellness page. And I remember seeing this quote from my vision board, and I put it on my vision board, and it said, if you build it, they will come. And it gives me goosebumps because I built that wellness page, and now it's almost to 1,000 likes. So thank you to all of you who support me and are on this journey with me together and are using essential oils and are just deeply passionate about like building that higher vibe lifestyle for yourselves. I just wanted to give you a shout out. So I made this wellness website and literally just named it Kim Leskovic Wellness because that's what I am, and that's all of the little subtitles underneath myself are kind of just some of my passions. And so I've learned that I'm currently actually reading a book on Audible called The Leader Who Had No Title by Robin Sharma. And I was listening to it on my drive back to Cedar Rapids. I was just back for my brother's confirmation, and what it talked about was that you lead with no title. No matter what job you're in, no matter what level of that job you're in, position you're in, you lead by example, and you're a leader when you're showing up and you're giving all that you have, and you just pour energy into that current position you're in and allow it to give you what you need. And so I just was really inspired by that book, and it's funny because I've been struggling kind of with what to tell people I'm doing, and what will people think of me if I say it this way, if I say it that way. And I also listened to this lecture with Gabby Bernstein. She's a spiritual leader in a similar industry as me, and you guys probably know some of her books. The Universe Has Your Back, Judgment Detox. I've talked about that before. Highly recommend you check her out. But this lecture was all about authentic power, and she talked about we don't need a title, but we can share our purpose and our mission with others and what our truth is. So that really kind of stuck with me, because it's not that I need to, like, being a yoga instructor or being an essential oil coach isn't making me the leader, but being myself and showing my passions and being vulnerable, that is making me the leader, and that is speaking my truth and what I'm here to do. So sharing the light and my knowledge for how to be your happiest, highest self, that's what I'm here to do. And to lead with that rather than leading with a title that doesn't necessarily, like, she was explaining that that's more of your ego, and so that's because you think it sounds good or that people will accept you for it. But when you come from a space of love and that's genuinely what you believe you're here to do and it will serve the higher good, that's when you become that leader. That's when you absorb your authentic power and you can give that to other people, and they'll feel that energy as you say it. And so yeah, going a little bit back to me creating this wellness website and this livecast, if I wouldn't have let the perfectionism attitude or habit in my life, if I wouldn't have let it go, I think it would have taken me a long time to get to where I am now. I've been doing this for around like a year or so, definitely getting into essential oils within a year. But it's really important to just know that people need what you have to say, or people need what you have to offer, and if you're gonna let that, like, all these little things stand in the way, it's kind of doing a disservice to the people who need what you have right now. And so it's kind of like, what can I do with what I have right now, and how can I get rid of everything else and stop worrying about it? And so that's kind of what I did. I was like, what can I do right now, because there's people out there that need to hear what I have to say, that need to be inspired, that need to be taught these wellness tools, and the rest doesn't matter right now. I'll figure it out along the way. And so I found that this perfectionism, as much as I up level in my life, as much as I go after new things and try something new every day, that fear of it's not good enough can seep back into my life a little bit. And so it's helpful to have the right tools in place for when that does happen. And another thing I learned from Gabby Bernstein, her talk on authentic power, was the more often we forgive ourselves, the faster we will get over that stuck feeling. The faster we will be like, it's okay to move on. So that's something I really had to go through this month, was that just feeling like, okay, it's January 30th, I didn't get some of the things that I wanted to get done by this time, and I had to let it go. I had to forgive myself, I had to move on, and I just felt that after I released, I cried, I let it go, I really got honest with myself on what was bothering me, and once I did that, I was able to have more fun with the rest of the month within these last 5 days, and just feel really good in the process of finishing the month strong. And another thing I learned with that is I'm creating this digital course for emotional healing with essential oils, and I've had this divine energy give this idea to me, and it just kind of laid out the numbers of 26 days, 26 letters in the alphabet. I had all these pinpoint details, and it's funny because last night I was so worked up about changing the start date and kind of moving things around, and I felt that perfectionism coming up again. And as soon as I released that and allowed myself to let that go, and allowed and realized that it was for the higher good to push back the date and promote it more, it allowed me to just feel so much lighter and good. And that's what I kind of want to talk to you guys about too, is sometimes we do have to let our original plans go, or what we thought it should look like go, or the how go, in order to let it be a light and easy and just enjoyable process. So that's one of my tips for you too, is forgive yourself often. Trust that you are all you need to be successful and a leader, and that your plans can change. They can evolve. That's all part of alignment and flow, and the ebbs and flow of life. Is the more you allow and the more you receive that, the faster and the more will come into your life. The faster the manifestation of the things you want will come into your life. And so yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I cover it all that I wanted to. But you guys have any questions so far? Those of you watching live, do you relate to this at all? Do you find yourself being a perfectionist? That you're really thinking about doing something, starting something in your life that's new and real and true to yourself, but you find yourself fearing that judgment of other people, or that it has to look a certain way? I'm just curious. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to. This was kind of a short one. Basically, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah. So the more you build confidence in your desire and your belief of what you believe success should look like, the more you will attract that energy. I kind of said the more you'll manifest that in your life. But so say you really want to build this wellness website, and you do it, and you're seeing people engaging, and the more you believe that that's your truth, the more you go into it with a loving, authentic energy, and only act out of alignment, the more that energy will be poured back into you. And people really admire realness. They admire sincere hearts, and they admire authenticity. And if there's anything I kind of want to leave you with that, that's my biggest one that has helped me a lot with overcoming perfectionism, is because all you need to do is just be you, be real, be honest, and whatever that looks like to you, however you feel, people need to hear it at the moment. Just be you, and and then you'll find that flow, and you'll find that perfectionism kind of being let go, and you'll just take more action in your life and achieve the things that you want. So I hope that kind of makes sense for you guys. If you have any specific topics that you'd love for me to come on this livecast and talk to you about, that you're really kind of struggling with, or just would like some insight, whether that has to do with positive mindset shifts, yoga, meditation, essential oils, those are all kind of things I'm passionate about, relationships, yeah. So I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to come on here and answer specific questions, so I know I'm serving you guys well. And we do also have essential oils specifically for perfectionism emotionally. So the number one that I can think of is cypress. It's the oil of motion and flow. And you want to make sure you're using high quality, pure, therapeutic grade oils when you're applying them to your skin and stuff like that. But you can diffuse essential oils. You can apply them topically. I love just rolling them on my wrists, and then they're easy to kind of smell and realign yourself in the moment. So cypress would be a really good one for that. And then some upcoming topics for future live casts. I'm actually going to get my sister on one of these and talk about probiotics and how kind of shift gears a little bit here and kind of connect the body to the mind, and how healing your gut and supporting your body in that way can really affect your mind. And so I'm definitely excited for that one. She has a lot of insight on food and the benefits of certain foods and their nutrition and stuff like that. So, and then I'm also gonna do a topic either next week or the week after. I'm still deciding, but that will be all about self-love before Valentine's Day, and just how I do it, how some of my guest leaders do it, and we'll just be able to show you guys some tips before the holiday. So thanks so much for joining, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below or message me. And if you're interested in my emotional Journey to Emotional Healing course, that's actually starting February 5th. I just went live about it today. Really excited about that, to be able to offer it and mentor you guys on your emotional journey. And I'd love for you to reach out if you're interested in that at all. So have a great night, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.